Hello y'all, welcome back to my monthly installment of the San Antonio Market Update, where I share with you the real estate market data that is released each and every month by the San Antonio Board of Realtors. This month we're going over the market data for the month of October of 2021. For those of you joining me for the very first time, thank you for tuning in today. My name is Brock.Bremmer and I'm a real estate agent here in San Antonio, Texas. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and give me one of these likes so that I know that you're watching and getting some value out of these videos. Also that bell icon so you'll be notified anytime that I post a new video. Today we're going to be going over the market statistics for the month of October for here in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. Now I will start off by saying that typically, we're in the fall season, so typically this is a slower time for home sales, and that's just the natural cyclical cycle of real estate in any market that you may encounter. I mean, it's the fall season, so the weather is a little bit colder. Typically the conditions aren't quite as great for someone wanting to move, so it's a lot slower of a time for people to be buying and selling homes, but it still does happen. Usually the high times when people are really buying and selling and moving, from one city to the next or even just across the city, that's usually done in the summer times when it's nice and warm and people have a little bit more free time from their jobs, kids' schools, all that fun stuff. So we are in a time where it's kind of slowing down. We're getting to that cyclical slowdown, as I've mentioned a couple of times already, for this time of the year. So the numbers you're about to hear are definitely normal for this time of year, and it's definitely nothing to be worried about. I will say it is still competitive out there for buyers to be making offers and bidding on homes. That hasn't really slowed down too much since the summer months and even from last year with COVID. So it is still a little bit competitive out there if you're looking to buy. New construction inventory is still kind of holding up, which is good. I know in the heights of everything this year and last year that a lot of builders at times were putting in some restrictions on the number of homes that they could sell. I haven't been seeing that quite as much with the new construction builders that I've been interacting with around the city, but it still could be a factor maybe once the spring and summer months kick up again in several months from now. But as for now, for sellers, it's still a great market for you to try to sell. You're still getting multiple offers from buyers in the market, so you're still getting that competitiveness. We're not seeing quite as many above asking offers where it's super high offers and crazy competitiveness out there. So we are starting to see a little bit of a slowdown for that and getting back to a little bit more of a normal market in a sense. So that is something good for everyone involved. But yeah, let's dive into the numbers for San Antonio. So for October of this year, we did see a slight decrease in the number of active listings. I think last month in September, we saw just over 6,000 active listings, and now here in October, we're seeing about 5,700 active listings. So again, that's kind of on par with what I had just previously mentioned. We are seeing that slowdown, but the number of new listings has stayed about the same. So last month, we saw about 3,800 new listings come to market, and this month we're seeing just over 3,800. So we're pretty on par for the number of new listings. We're just seeing the number of active listings decrease a little bit because the number of homes being sold is actually staying about the same month over month. So last month, like I mentioned, we saw about 3,650 homes that were sold. This month in October, we saw just over 3,300 homes sold. So again, we're seeing less homes sold, which is normal for this time of year. Both the average price point of a home sold and the median price of a home sold both increased this month compared to last year. The average price point of a home increased about 16% from this time last year, and the median sales price of a home jumped up about 18% from this time last year as well. So the average price point of a home sold in October was just over $356,000, whereas the median price point of a home sold was just over $305,000. So again, those were both increased from October of 2020, which is a good thing. If you're a homeowner, you're seeing that price appreciation still. Over the summer months this year, we saw about a 19% increase. So we're still seeing that gradual increase in price appreciation of homes all across the city. So the amount of time that a home is sitting for sale on market also increased again. So this month in October, we saw about 29 days was the average amount of time that a house was on the market. This is still 20 days less than this time last year, so homes are still selling a lot faster, which is great. But we did see a slight increase in the amount of time from last month, whereas we saw about 27 days on market. So not a huge increase in the amount of time, but still we're starting to see those days on market creep up month over month for the last several months now. So we're starting to see that, which is, again, typical for this time of year. Now, our months of inventory, now this is a stat that is used to kind of gauge how many homes are for sale, and at the current pace that we're selling homes, how long that amount of inventory would last, assuming no other homes came to market. Now, new homes are being built every day. Other homeowners are deciding to sell their house on a regular basis. So new homes are always coming to market. So right now we're sitting at about 1.7 months worth of inventory for October, which is 0.1 months less than last month. So last month we saw 1.8. This month we're seeing 1.7. This is still pretty low compared to normal market conditions. Typically we see anywhere between 4.5 to 5.5 months worth of inventory. So we're still drastically low since COVID happened, but these months of inventory have been increasing steadily over the last several months, which is great because during the summer months when it was super crazy out there for you as a buyer to purchase, we were seeing about 1.1. In some cases, we saw even less than a month's worth of inventory. So it's good to see that we're getting some more inventory back in the market. It's good to kind of help eliminate some of that competitiveness that you're seeing out there as a buyer. This means that more homeowners are deciding to try to take advantage of the great prices that are out there and move while the market is still hot and in their favor. So here's some numbers that I haven't shared yet in any of my other previous videos, but I'm gonna share these going forward. Is the amount of homes that were sold at each price point. So homes that were priced at $199,000 or less, there was about 13% of those were the homes that were sold this month. Whereas our average price point in San Antonio is, somewhere right above the 250,000 mark. So that's where most of the homes are sold. But almost 73% of the homes that were sold in October were priced anywhere between $200,000 and $499,000. So that's where a majority of the homes in San Antonio sit typically, and that's where we're seeing the greatest amount of homes. That was 73% in October. But that doesn't mean that there's lots of great homes that are priced higher than that. So for homes that were priced $500,000 or more, those made up just 14.25% of the total homes that were sold. And the last little stat I'll go over is the average rental price. So if you're out there looking to rent a place, whether it be an apartment, townhome, or single family residence, the average price point of a rental home in the San Antonio market for October of this year was $1,691. So yeah, that is the average rental price of a home in San Antonio. That is down slightly from last month. Last month was just over $1,700 a month in rent was the average rental price. So saw that come down just a little bit this month, which is good. Well, there you have it. That is all that I have for you this month on the market data for San Antonio and the surrounding areas. If you found any value out of this video, don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That would greatly help me out. Also, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'd love to hear it, and I'm going to respond to every one of your comments that you leave behind. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day.